Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Bros podcast. I'm your host, Logan Thomas. With me, as always, is my most excellent co-host,
Caden Green.
and together we are the Real Bros. Caden, crossing another franchise off our list today.
Yes, sir.
We're finishing off the Venom trilogy with The Last Dance.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry about that. This was a first-time watch for me,
Yes, sir.
and you were very proud of that.
I was.
This is a fantastic finale to the Venom trilogy.
Oh, absolutely.
The scale isn't too big. It's not too small. It perfectly encapsulates the symbiote world for the Sony Marvel collection of characters, whatever the hell it's called. But it's a good final movie for this trilogy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You can definitely tell they were trying to set up things for the other films.
Right.
But we know will never happen because, Sony can't make a good Marvel movie. But it was good enough for what it was supposed to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Tom Hardy, peak as always in his acting, I would say. I think this is best acting out of all three movies.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the most emotional out of the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would say it's much bigger than what Let There Be Carnage was. If it is, I would say it's only like by very little much.
See, the threat is a lot bigger than Let There Be Carnage, but location-wise, no, not really.
It doesn't make it feel like it's a major threat. Like, the shadow that looms over this movie is a massive one.
Oh, absolutely.
But, like, it doesn't make you feel that because the threat isn't really there yet.
You're right.
Because, like, you can definitely tell this could potentially be the first half of a two-part movie if the ending of this movie would have changed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very happy we got the ending that we got.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's very satisfying to any Venom fan, I would say. As everybody knows, today will be another Real Bros ranking at the end of today's episode. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
I think we have the same ranking again this episode.
I believe so.
So we'll work it kind of like how we worked Ghostbusters, where we'll just go down the movies and we'll just give our reasoning for its location. Other than that, I think we're ready to get into it.
Sounds good.
All right, sir, take us to the quick review.
All right. So, as we've discussed, the movie we're going to be talking about is Venom: The Last Dance. And the best quick review we could come up with is pretty much a being that exists outside of any universe is threatening Venom and Eddie.
One of the biggest multiversal threats in Marvel Comics.
Mm-hmm. And now it is kind of a race against time for them to pretty much alter their destiny to stop this individual from entering their universe.
Yeah, and this movie definitely, it depends on how you think about it, but this movie could definitely change about how you think other symbiotes' motivations were in some of the other movies.
Right.
You could say, and that'll be one of my questions later on, but yeah, I think this definitely changes the way you think about symbiotes, even from some of the comic book standpoints. Because, like, there's a lot of comics where the symbiotes are not altruistic beings at all.
Right.
But this one definitely makes them out to be, like, the good guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Across the board. And I liked that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, they're essentially sacrificing themselves for the universe.
Yeah.
And they're definitely never that altruistic in the comics whatsoever. I think this movie, the CGI was good in this movie.
It wasn't the best.
I would say it's a little bit lower than Let There Be Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, to me, Venom keeps looking worse.
Yeah.
Because I did look at the budget and everything for the episode or whatever. The budget keeps getting bigger, but for some reason the visual effects just keep getting worse.
And I think part of that might be because of how much they're pushing into each new movie.
That is also true.
So they have less time to spend on making Venom look perfect.
So I would definitely say this movie has the most Tom Hardy action
Yeah.
of it.
Oh yeah.
Because even for the story, there's a reason why Venom is not in the movie as much.
Right.
And so this really gives Tom Hardy a chance to shine and give him the most screen time that he has by himself.
Right.
Because even the Venom head is only really in the movie maybe 20 minutes, if that.
It doesn't take away at all though.
No, it doesn't. But because the story makes it so natural for the reasons the CGI and the visual effects are inputted the way they're inputted. Because the most symbiotes we see, and we get a bunch of symbiotes in this movie. This movie kind of reminds me of Iron Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of that kind of final chapter where it just ends everything for a new chapter to start in all the characters' lives.
Right.
But yeah, I really do like this movie. It definitely shifted my expectations. Because I bought the movie when it first came out on Blu-ray, and I just never watched it because I was so afraid of it. Because I wasn't afraid it was going to be a bad movie, but I was afraid it was just going to be so different that I wasn't going to like it.
Right.
And so that's why it just sat on my shelf for so long. Because yeah, last week was when you realized, hey, I'd never watched this movie before. And so you were like, I'm watching you watch this movie.
But you were pleasantly surprised by it, weren't you?
I had a few pause the movie, laugh out loud moments. But yes, this movie did genuinely put a smile on my face. Am I sad that we're never going to get more Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, Venom?
Yeah.
Yes, because by the time you watch all three of these movies, you become so comfortable with him and their relationship. The fact that by the time you get comfortable with it, it's gone. So yeah, I'm very, very sad. Also, it doesn't help that Sony completely screwed themselves over out of a cinematic universe, but
Oh well.
You could just tell when they were starting to do it, it was doomed to fail. Because and I've made this joke several times, a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man.
It could still work though.
It could work, but you have to appease the fans enough by making characters that are inherently made stronger because of Spider-Man's presence strong enough to not require Spider-Man's presence.
Right.
There are very few Spider-Man characters that can take that kind of story. And that just does not help. They picked the wrong ones after Venom.
Yeah.
Morbius is not a character that is strong without Spider-Man.
No.
Madam Web.
Definitely not.
Craven. Okay, Craven has potential. But they have to be willing to do Craven the justice that Craven deserves.
Yeah.
And what they did, from what I understand, was not it.
No. But with Craven, out of all of the Spider-Man characters, I think he was probably the best pick.
Yes.
Just because of the fact that in comic, he pretty much killed Spider-Man for 2 weeks, trapping him underground, forcing the world to believe that Spider-Man was dead, as Craven dressed up as a black suit symbiote Spider-Man, which New York thought was a different Spider-Man, just to tarnish the Spider-Man's name.
And even in the Insomniac games, Craven single-handedly killed the Sinister Six.
Mm-hmm.
That is not an easy task, mind you.
No.
he very nearly single-handedly killed the lizard. Full-powered lizard, mind you. He even boosted the strength of the lizard's serum to make him almost a dinosaur to fight.
And he still won.
Almost, yeah. Because story-wise, Peter steps in and does Spider-Man stuff, but that's for people who haven't played the game. There's spoilers or whatever. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, Craven don't play.
No.
But I was really hopeful for that movie. But then when I saw the trailers, it's like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't think Aaron Taylor Johnson did a bad job from any reason whatsoever. But like, if you're going to make a Craven movie, you need to be willing to go full Craven.
Yeah.
And like, that movie cannot be rated PG-13. Even by Venom standards, shouldn't be PG-13. But Venom is much more applicable.
Yeah.
To be PG-13, whereas Craven is absolutely not.
No. Craven is, by all intents and purposes, a hunter and a killer in some of the most violent ways possible.
Yeah, he is literally one of Spider-Man's most deadly villains.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to make him feel like that. But, on the other hand, we're talking about Venom today.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add before we get into production tales?
Venom did break the rule, kind of, sort of.
Oh, okay, I will let you talk about this because we were talking about this.
So, all 3 Venom movies are PG-13, which they shouldn't be, but regardless.
We got decent PG-13 Venom movies.
Yes.
They could have been much worse than what we got.
The thing that stood out to me is that a PG-13 movie, on average, is only allowed 1 F-bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Venom: The Last Dance managed to get 2, which led me into a rabbit hole of looking stuff up, and I can't remember what the corporation's called, but if they see it as an applicable or inconspicuous use of the word, a movie can slip by using more F-bombs than the regulation of 1. From what I looked up, I can't remember the name of the movie, but there was one where there were 3 F-bombs in the PG-13 movie. So
yeah.
I thought that was just a little neat fact.
That whole thing just feels kind of icky to me.
Yeah.
Because like from what you read to us, it sounded like it just depends on the board that they have at the time. So it sounds like depending on what board is in there that day is depending on what they get away with.
Right.
So you could have like this dude over here that's okay with anything and just vote on it, and they get like, well, you know what? You're only PG-13, but we're going to let you have gore and unlicensed language issues, and you still get PG-13 rating. And that's what they have to go with because that's what they vote on.
Which, yeah, also, The Last Dance has a lot of blood in it.
It has a decent amount of blood. A lot more than I was expecting.
Which is really, really surprising given, again, the PG-13 rating.
Yeah, because like, I'm going to get into character details. Xenophages, gigantic alien lizard crab things with wood chipper mouths and guts fly out the neck. Every time they eat something, you see either blood or the color of a symbiote that shoots out the back of their neck.
Yeah.
So like there is gore in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Why not?
Hey. And like obviously we're going to talk about it. Null is in this movie.
Yeah.
Quote unquote in this movie.
He plays a part, but
Null is the driving force of this movie, but he has no real presence in this movie.
Yeah.
Null is the reason I said this movie could be a 2-parter depending on how this movie ended.
Right.
Because if Null would have been released, that is leading to potentially a symbiote war. That could have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. That'd be completely inexpensive, and that movie would almost have to be rated R.
Oh, absolutely.
But Null is the thing that was supposed to drive this Sony's. I'm just gonna get started on production tales because I'm gonna start getting into what they were talking about. So, okay,
Anyway, on to production tales.
just dial us back in here real quick. As we have stated, in 2018, Tom Hardy signed on to do 3 films. In September 2021, Hardy noted that producers would have to continue to develop Sony's Spider-Man universe in future films, but they said they were also interested in crossing over with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Venom Let There Be Carnage director Andy Serkis expressed I can't talk tonight. I apologize. Expressed interest in returning to direct another Venom film and felt there was more to explore with Venom in future films. Before the character could meet Spider-Man in future crossover film, including further exploration of the Ravencroft Institute and other potential villains being held there. In October, Tom Holland said he and producer Amy Pascal had discussed him potentially reprising his MCU role as Peter Parker / Spider-Man in future Venom sequels, after he made a cameo appearance in Let There Be Carnage via footage from the MCU film's Spider-Man No Way Home. Neither Holland nor his character appeared in the finished film. Adam B. Vary classified in December 2024 that according to one Sony source, the Walt Disney Company never precluded Sony from using Holland in their films. It simply never happened due to the studio feeling that audiences wouldn't accept Holland's Spider-Man appearing in non-MCU films, especially after release of No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and the MCU's multiverse. What do you think about that?
I think it's dumb. Like, fans love Tom Holland.
I feel like they would have to do a lot of story tweaking to make it to where a Holland could appear.
Right.
Because, like, when the first Venom movie came out, everybody has just assumed that this movie took place in Andrew Garfield's universe.
Right.
Because of so many different implications. And I think that is smart. Because Andrew Garfield is one of my favorite Spider-Man.
Oh, absolutely.
He did a fantastic job. I think that is smart because of how little his world got developed.
Mm-hmm.
And because there was... there was 10 years in between his appearances. Between Amazing Spider-Man 2 and No Way Home. Like 7 or 8 years? Anywho.
A significant time frame.
Yes. And so there's just so much of that world that just needs filled out. It just makes so much more sense.
Right.
But do I think that Tom Holland is a bad option to have as the Sony Spider-Man? No. But I do think for what they're doing, I don't think it would be smart for them to mix them. Because I do think then it gets so confusing. And then you need to have like a clear definition of like, so what is MCU canon and what is not?
Right.
Because like you can say all MCU movies are every Marvel movie. Excuse me. And that is correct because of the multiverse that they've introduced.
Right.
But then you have to talk about how, oh, well, these movies shoehorn in here, but they're now canon because of what we're allowed to use. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, I think it just gets messy. I think maybe they should have found their own Spider-Man? Kind of. Not trying to downplay Tom's performance in any way whatsoever. But just for simplicity, yeah, I just would have used Andrew. I'm not going to lie.
You definitely couldn't use Tobey Maguire. The guy's like 40 or 50 years old.
I wouldn't have hated it, but I definitely think they would have needed to do a lot more story tweaking.
Especially because, spoiler alert for a really, really old movie, in either Spider-Man 2 or 3, the original series, Venom dies.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man 3. And Venom wasn't even supposed to be in that movie. The original Drift was just Sandman. But Sony wanted Venom in that movie.
And they got it.
And they got a version of Venom.
I was okay with Venom.
I didn't hate it, but I definitely think it. You can definitely tell it was not Sam Raimi's favorite part of that movie.
Right.
But yeah, and we get Bully McGuire out of it. I guess that's doing the
Little dance.
Yeah, the dance. We wouldn't have memes or anything. That's like the birth of memes or whatever. But yeah, no, it's just a messy situation. There's no other way you can think about it. But whatever. I'm not Amy Pascal, so
You be the new Spider-Man for the Venom movies.
sure.
I can see it.
I'll be I'm like chubby Thor. I'll be the washed up. I'll be Peter B. Parker from Into the Spider-Verse. Just the washed up fat Spider-Man.
Don't you dare taint his name like that.
I'm Peter C. Parker.
There you go.
Anywho, Sony Pictures confirmed the film was in development at CinemaCon in April of 2022. In June, Hardy revealed that Kelly Marcel was writing the screenplay after previously working on the prior Venom films, and that he was co-writing the story with her. Hardy was set to be paid $20 million for his involvement. Serkis was unable to return as director due to his commitments to Animal Farm, which had been delayed to work on Let There Be Carnage, which Animal Farm is supposed to come out this year, I believe. It's an animated film that retells the Orson Welles story.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah. But ultimately portrayed the character Null in the film. Honestly, I really couldn't tell it was Andy Serkis. He did a really good voice job.
Oh, yeah.
For Null. I'm glad he didn't go like the symbiotes are my precious. I must have them.
The voice was really good.
He did. And I will say you could definitely tell the character is a CGI character, but he did look really good.
Oh, yeah.
I do wish we would have gotten to see
more of him.
Like the symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Venom logo, but it has the tail that swirls. Like it's like the dragon.
Mm.
That would have been cool. But at that point, they would have been like, well, then where's Venom's logo at? Huh? Where's that at?
Yeah.
I wish that is like my one gripe about these movies. We never got the Venom logo.
Which, I mean, that...
It makes sense why we didn't. I understand that.
Yeah.
But still, as a Venom fan, come on.
I think any kind of logo would suffice, though.
Right? Because, like, you know.
He definitely could do it, because throughout every movie, he's got little white, like, almost veins on him.
Yeah.
So, I think it would be cool design.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Marcel signed on in October to make her directorial debut with the film, which was expected to conclude the Venom trilogy. She was also set to produce the film alongside Avi Arad, Matt Tolmach, Pascal, Hutch Parker, and Hardy, all doing so through their respective production companies, Arad Productions, Matt Tolmach Productions, Pascal Pictures, Hutch Parker Entertainment, and Hardy's son and Baker. Columbia Pictures also produces in association with Marvel Entertainment. Hardy confirmed in 2023 that pre-production work had begun. Juno Temple entered negotiations to join the cast in an undisclosed lead role in April. The next month, filming was expected to begin in June in London. And I'm so sorry about this name.
Hmm.
You know him. He's Mordo in Doctor Strange. He was the main character in Backrooms. It's Strickland in this movie.
Hmm.
Chittle Ejiofor? I, I am so sorry. All I know is how to spell the first name.
You definitely butchered it.
Oh, I definitely butchered it, and I am so sorry. Was cast as Rex Strickland. When Temple was confirmed to have been cast in June, the film was set for release in October of 2024. The film features Null, the King in Black of the symbiotes, who was introduced to the source material in 2018. The filmmakers were always kept aware of the character, but decided they had to lay the foundation for Venom's character and his relationship with Eddie Brock before featuring the Marvel supervillain. As such, they look for inspiration from the Venom comic books by David Michelin, Todd McFarlane, Danny Cates, and Ryan Stegman. The latter two being Null's creator, leading Sony to hire them for the advisory relationship and allowing at least Cates to read the screenplay. Cates and Stegman expected monetary compensation for the inclusion of Null. Which that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's like bringing in Frank Miller to be like, hey, we're doing The Dark Knight Returns, but we're not going to include Frank Miller, the guy who created it. I'm sure that goes so well.
Oh, I'm sure.
Batman v Superman. Oh, sorry. Did that come out saying something? I don't think it did. Potential photography began in June 26, 2023 at Los Matos in Cartagena, Spain. Sorry about that one as well as the Cal Blanc Regional Park under the working title Orwell. Fabian Wagner serves as the cinematographer after previously serving as additional cinematographer on Let There Be Carnage. The start of the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike in mid-July 2023 resulted in filming being halted. Later that month, the film was set to release on July 12, 2024. When the actors' strike ended in early November, Sony delayed the film release November 8, 2024, filling the November 2024 date that the studio had previously reserved for an untitled Marvel film. Production was preparing to resume at that time. Filming resumed on November 16th. In February 2024, Clark Bacco joined the cast in an undisclosed role, and Temple said at the end of the month that filming was nearly completed. Post-production time.
Oh boy.
It can't be as bad as the last few where, the entire COVID-19 thing happened. Which I'm kind of happy that we're getting through some of these movies that went through COVID-19.
Oh yeah.
So that way people understand just like how messy it got. Because let's just say it got kind of messy.
Kind of. It was very messy.
Just nobody thought movie theaters would be around anymore afterwards or something like that.
Yeah. To say I would have been very upset is an understatement.
Oh, yeah. Like, do I like watching movies at home?
Yes.
Absolutely. Do I also enjoy the theater experience? Absolutely. In March of 2024, the film was titled Venom: The Last Dance, and its release date was moved forward to October 25th. The first teaser trailer, released in June, confirmed Peggy Lou and Stephen Graham were reprising their respective roles as Mrs. Chen and Patrick Mulligan from prior Venom films, as well as the casting of Rise Ifans, Alana Eubank, and Cristo Fernandez. Evans previously portrayed Kirk Connors / The Lizard in Sony's The Amazing Spider-Man and in No Way Home, while Fernandez appeared in No Way Home as a bartender who interacts with Brock after he was transported to the MCU via the multiverse. German Lucier at IO9 questioned the appearances of Ifans and Ejiofor, who played Carl Mordo in the MCU, were less concerned about continuity with the MCU and were instead commentary on the multiverse rather than being connected to their prior roles. Molly Edwards of Total Film was also confused by the reference to the mid-credits scene of No Way Home in the trailer, since the Venom films are set in a separate universe of the MCU. John Moffat and Aaron Borland served as the visual effects supervisors, while Greg Baxter is the visual effects producer. Visual effects are provided by Industrial Lights and Magic, like everybody else is almost by the scenes of it. DNEG, Digital Domain, Rodeo FX, and Territory Studio, while the Third Floor Inc., Torchlight, and Host provided the pre-visualization and post-visualization work. Mark Sanger edited the film and was completed at the Cary Grant Theater in the Sony Pictures Studio lot in early October of 2024. So pretty much nothing really bad happened.
Doesn't sound like it. That's how you know it's at least good.
Yeah. At least we didn't have a 2-hour story like for the first Venom movie.
Hey, that was a good 2-hour movie.
I meant the production tale story.
Oh, yeah. That kind of sucked.
Good. Only just going through like 10 or 15 other variations through from 1990 something to 2017. All right, Caden, time for your favorite game show.
Oh, I hate this game show.
Hey, it's not too hard of a game show.
I don't ever win anything.
All right, today you could potentially win the budget of this movie.
And that could be a really big budget. Oh, mama.
You notice how I said budget, not the box office?
That's. You think I care?
The budget of this movie was potentially $110 to $120 million.
Okay.
The budget of this movie, Caden. All right.
Okay. You already gave me the budget, so now I'm picking the box office, right?
Mm-hmm.
$573.8 million.
Oh my God.
Way off.
I am going to give you a specific clue.
Oh no. I'm not good with clues.
You are $103 million off.
Hold on. Hold on. You're making me do math now. Okay. What did I say? 573.8?
You said 575.
That doesn't sound right. No, I said 578.3.
Okay, in that case, you were 1 million off even.
678.3.
Wrong direction.
Oh, 478.3.
478.9.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
That is
the closest you have been.
that first guess was really surprising in how close it was.
How do you feel about yourself?
Still kind of disappointed that I didn't get it right to the exact number.
Hey, but you know what? You were in the major numbers.
Had I not gotten a hint, no, I wouldn't have been.
And I'm sorry to say, but you do not get the prize money.
Ah!
Maybe next week, sir. Maybe next week.
I want it now.
North America, it grossed 139.7 million.
Okay.
Internationally, it grossed 337.1 million.
Okay. Not bad money.
No, not bad money at all. Apparently, it's saying that it did better than the first two did. I don't remember what the other ones were, because like that's been a week ago at least. So
It was a number,
it was.
and it was either substantial or somewhat mediocre.
Hey, it's a thing. That's all we need to worry about.
It was there. That's all I remember.
It made money. That's all we care about.
Yeah. How much money? Some amount.
It didn't bomb enough to where they shut down the franchise. That's all we need to know.
And that's all that counts. Even now, we're still getting these movies. Or we were.
I was going to say, don't give him too much hope.
Shut up.
All right, Caden. We're about to head into spoiler territory. So, as per usual, pause the podcast, go watch the movie, join us again after you've watched it.
Watch the movie again. And then let us know what you think of the podcast post-movie. And then let us know what you think again post-movie, post-podcast, post-movie.
Yeah, just keep throwing down in the comments of what you thought of the movie and the podcast.
Eventually, you'll run out of things to say.
Until the next episode comes out anyway.
Exactly.
So spam us, please. We want it.
All according to our plan.
Yes. Do the plan.
We're actually masterminds.
I wouldn't go that far. I can barely mastermind my own schedule, man. Come on. I can't work a master plan. I saved that for Dr. Doofenshmirtz. His master plans would work if Perry the Platypus wasn't such a good friend to him.
And also bad archenemy.
Yeah.
It works out one way or another.
And if he would just stop making self-destruct buttons, everything would be fine.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
That's literally an entire episode or a movie about. Okay. Sorry.
We're not talking about those movies.
Yeah, that'll be our specific Phineas and Ferb podcast coming next July.
No.
You're right. We can barely run this one.
Yeah.
All right, Kate, are you ready to get into it?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. I'll let you take her away because you're better at intros than I am, apparently.
Hey. Hey, wait a second. I wasn't paying attention. Hey. Anyway, a foreboding voice introduces us to their own past as they name themselves Noel, the King of Darkness. Noel is pretty much the creator of all symbiotes and their cousin/sister creatures, the xenophages.
Yeah, because Noel has been around since essentially time began.
Yep.
And light was his arch enemy when it came into existence.
Mm-hmm. And pretty much the best way I wrote down in my notes to describe this opening is Noel is salty his original children betrayed him by locking him away on their home planet.
Yeah.
Which exists outside of time and space. Kind of, probably, sort of.
I think
yes and no.
I think the prison does. I don't know about the planet itself. Because, like, it just depends on how you read into the symbiotes.
Right.
If they're, like, are multiversal creatures, or if they're like Null and they exist outside of the multiversal boundaries. But yeah, it's hard to gauge. It just depends on if you are a super Null nerd, I guess.
Yeah.
If you know that for sure.
We do not. Yeah. How was that for an introduction? I didn't have to use in the beginning. The movie starts.
The movie starts with an ominous voice of the great Null in his prison.
Knock it off.
Arnold, when did you become part of the podcast? I'm your new producer. I need to make sure you get the monies. Visit today's sponsor, Arnold.com.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I only got a bad gut feeling. Something bad would happen if you do that. Gonna have several lawsuits coming our way.
He's gonna have the governor pushing down our door.
You busting down your door. If you get a lawsuit, I ain't got no part in it.
I'll tell him where you live.
No, I'll move. You think I won't? That's your own fault.
Bust down the door. How dare you use my fake internet name on your podcast?
I told you. It wasn't worth it.
I'll tell you where Caden is. I have a tracker on him. Give it to me.
Oh.
Quickly, man, get back to the chopper.
Anyway, getting back on track. Noel tells us, the viewer, because he can break the fourth wall.
Yes.
He tells us his imprisonment lasts only as long as a codex is not created. And unfortunately, a codex exists. So he sends his new children to go hunt it down to free him.
So do you think that event happened in between 1 and 2? Like this specific scene?
What event?
Noel's
awakening?
Mm-hmm. Because it is hard to say how long the xenophages have been searching.
Yeah. Granted, I can also see it being just here's a new enemy. Don't worry about how long he's been there.
Because, like, if Noel's as powerful as he says he is, he would have been aware of Venom the entirety of 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's kind of like where I'm at.
And you've reached into heavy spoiler territory. And we haven't even gotten into it yet.
I wouldn't say so. Because we don't really know how the Codex is created.
No, that's true.
But yeah, Venom is the Codex that will somehow set Noel free.
We'll elaborate more on that later.
But
I think I'll probably have to agree with you. The xenophages have probably been searching a while. Because we know... Well, no. Because the portals immediately go onto Earth.
Well, here's the other thing you have to think about. There is no time gap between 2 and 3.
You're right. But there is a time gap between 1 and 2.
By maybe, like, a few months. If that.
I'd say longer.
Because Eddie has openly said in this movie, all 3 movies take place within a year.
Yeah.
So there can't be that much of a time gap between 1 and 2.
Maybe.
Also, he sends xenophages to every corner of the multiverse to find this codex.
That just means A, he's got a lot of xenophages, and B, he doesn't know how to look for anything.
Would you, after being trapped in a dark prison for 1 billion years?
Probably. Alright, where did I set my car keys? Oh, xenophages! Oh, find me my keys. I need to partake in the drunk driving. I don't know why, but I feel like Noel's the kind of bad guy that would actively drunk drive. Or drive drunk.
Mortal, give me my keys. Sir, you've had 100 beers tonight. Keys.
The car speaks to me through the alcohol.
I am 1 billion years old, my alcohol tyrant.
Tyrants?
Tolerance is super high.
Tyrants are a different franchise, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, sir, here's your keys. Thank you. You save yourself from my blade this day.
All right. Enough with the drunk driving, no. Anyway.
It cuts back to Spider-Man No Way Home, essentially.
Yeah.
Where we see Eddie essentially trying to immerse himself in the MCU history.
Very poorly, mind you.
About a big purple guy who likes stones.
Big purple alien.
Big purple alien who likes stones.
And I love this little part because it sends Eddie on a rant. Because Venom is an alien.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts thinking, like, no, that's not what aliens like. Aliens like eating people.
And chocolate.
And the bartender's just like, oh, okay, sir. Whatever you say.
And like, but this alien caused my family to disappear for 5 years. He's like,
Oh, 5 years.
This is a long time. He literally says that to the guy.
I'm like, oh yeah, 5 years. That's quite a while.
And then he stands up. He's like, okay, I'm had enough. And then the moment he stands up, he gets sucked back into his own universe.
Yeah, it's a really interesting way to open the movie.
Because, like, it's a good way to bridge No Way Home in this. Because I'm glad that No Way Home at least addressed Eddie's transportation to the MCU.
Right.
Because he was not a part of that movie. Excuse me. In a bigger aspect. But I'm glad that they're still acknowledging the fact that he was there for like 5 minutes.
Not a real significant amount of time, but he was there. He was getting drunk, but he was still there.
And I love how, like, he probably, like, literally went down the road to a local cantina from waking up in that guy's apartment. Because, like, he's just like, you know what? I'm done. I need a drink.
I mean,
please, dear God, give me a drink.
If you have a sentient alien homunculus living inside your body and you just got transported to a different reality, would you not also go to the nearest bar for a quick drink?
Apparently, he was there for a while. It wasn't a quick drink.
I'd say over 24 hours.
Yeah, that bartender wanted to throw that guy out so bad.
Yeah, but we're lucky he didn't.
That bartender's pretty cool.
He was. He was a really chill guy.
But he gets back to his universe, and then Venom decides he wants to be a bartender.
I love this scene.
And so he does essentially the kitchen scene from Let There Be Carnage, but he does it trying to make a Bloody Mary.
Which he calls a Bloody Michelle.
Something like that. And he's singing Tequila. And then as soon as he's done, the bartender's like, what were those things?
I was born with them. It's like, fair enough.
Like, sir, what is your superhero backstory? Oh, no, what's my story today? Yeah, when I was a baby, I was injected with this hyperbolic needle, and it gave me tentacles. Sorry, what?
Don't worry about it.
It's all in the past. We're good here. My shot became sentient. It was not a cortisone shot. We know that for sure now. Like, sir, I would have a word with your doctor. I wouldn't.
My doctor didn't like me, so that's why he gave me the shot.
He gave me the hey, screw you and your life shot. I hope you do get tetanus, kid.
That's not very nice. Yeah, neither is tetanus.
Would you rather have tetanus or... Can I have the tetanus, please?
No, you're getting the...
You get Tom Hardy in a grovelly voice in your head 24/7.
Honestly, I wouldn't complain about that.
I would miss the quiet sometimes, but on the other hand,
it's Venom.
Yeah. Is hear him like, oh yeah, tequila. Yeah, come on.
And we're gonna get copy strike now. Way to go.
We're gonna get copy strike just for my Arnold impersonation.
If that's what you want to call it.
But if Arnold Schwarzenegger does kick down my door, I'll make sure I take a few pictures. Like, oh, can you like not arrest me for 5 seconds? Okay, you're good.
Anyway.
The police are looking for Eddie
Mm-hmm.
after everything that happened in San Francisco.
I wouldn't say just the police. Sorry to interrupt.
I think at this point it's just the police because the whole thing about this story hasn't kicked in yet. But like realistically, he's really only been missing probably about a week or two at this point.
Yeah.
Because Patrick Mulligan just died, quote unquote, of his injuries, and they bring that up on the newscast.
Right.
And like that's why they're looking for him. Because he's implicated in the murder of Mulligan.
Right.
But they forget that Cletus Cassidy was there for some reason.
Well, you also got to think Cassidy was missing a head, so it was probably hard to identify him.
It's true. Anywho, Eddie's like, man, what are we gonna do? Where can we go? And so he sees a little toy of the Statue of Liberty. And in the first one, he was like, he got ran out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And so he talks about like a judge run him out of town on trumped up charges. And he says that he has blackmail against this judge. And that's really why he ran him out of town. And so he uses blackmail and get his life back in New York. That's his plan.
That is definitely one of the plans of all time.
Like, hey, this guy kicked me out of New York, but I'm going to blackmail this guy so I can get back in New York.
Like, if it works, it works.
That's got Acme written all over the side of that box.
Like I said, if it works, it works.
Anywho.
Which, real quick, what I want to... So, that little Statue of Liberty toy that they had, it had I overthought about this. It had a little, like, donut on it, like the shape of Captain America's shield from No Way Home, it was, with the 3 Spider-Man. Does that sound correct? Yeah. And I just thought, like, oh, they're referencing No Way Home. But it very well could have just been like a little donut.
Right.
So, but I thought that was a neat little reference to what could have been.
Right. But Eddie walks down the street, and the biggest thing about this movie is Eddie and his shoes. I'm just giving you a little forewarning about this because it's going to start becoming the longest running joke of the film.
And I love it. It's so funny.
Eddie follows these screams down a dark alley, and he finds this set of kennels, and they're fighting dogs.
Yes.
So it's not like cockfights or anything like that, just illegal animal fighting. And Venom and Eddie meet the gangsters, whatever you want to call them.
The bad dudes.
The bad man, Eddie.
Yeah.
And so Venom and Eddie tag team these guys.
And it's really fun to watch.
It's really cool because this is the most Eddie has done.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie does more work in this movie than the others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one, because of CGI restrictions.
Yep.
And 2, of the story. And that this is the first time it really kind of starts to show that. But they are able to... He eats all 4 of the bad guys' heads. And one of the dogs takes his shoe.
Well, no, he throws his shoe at one of the bad guys.
Yes, that's right. And these are Crocs, by the way.
They're horrible. So the dog brings him his shoe and he's trying to get it back. And the dog ends up ripping it in half.
So now Eddie's without a shoe, and Venom just throws him a pair of cowboy boots.
Like, hey, if it works, it works.
So now he is barefoot with cowboy boots. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because there's no socks.
I can just imagine the blisters on his feet.
You got to think with Venom, there's no blisters.
That's
There's
true.
nothing there.
It still wouldn't be enjoyable.
Probably not.
um, but we cut back to the bar, and the bartender is captured.
By
Strickland.
Strickland, yes.
And okay, I want to bring this up to you because you brought it up.
Okay.
The venom on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
In the end of No Way Home, before he gets sent home,
Okay.
a piece of venom is left on the bar.
Yes, sir.
You think that that is retconned by this movie?
Yes, sir.
Elaborate.
Well, in the No Way Home post-credit scene, Venom is brought back to his reality, where in the 616 post-credit scene, a little piece of Venom is left behind. In the movie, Venom is brought back to his universe, and then as he's leaving the bar, he puts down a bit of change and says, keep the tip, with a piece of him stuck to it. And I think that retcons because the movie develops on what we know from the post-credit scenes.
Right.
But they also change stuff. So I think with The Last Dance, it definitely retconned Venom being in the MCU with that opening sequence.
And I can agree with both because we really don't know what they're going to do. Because from what I understand, Venom is not mentioned or anything in Brand New Day at this point. But Tom Holland has openly said that he would love to wear a Venom suit.
I would love to see that. I think that would be really cool to see.
And with the story stuff that I know about the movie, because I've essentially spoiled it for myself because I understand I'm probably not going to have time to go watch it in theaters.
Don't spoil it for me, please. I'm begging you.
Character-wise, it would be a smart thing for this trilogy to adapt that story arc. Because from what I understand, he does accept loneliness.
Peter?
Yes. As for being Spider-Man.
Right.
So I think it would make sense for them to do that in like the next movie or whatever. But I'm not going to go any further for your sake.
Thank you. Much obliged.
But we cut to a blonde chick.
Who is she's a we'll get name later.
Yes. But all we know is her and brother got struck by lightning and brother died as children.
Yeah. So they were twins,
mm-hmm.
and the brother wanted to work for NASA.
Yep.
Well, unfortunately, the brother had this thing. When the thunder starts rumbling, that's when you start tumbling, or
something like that.
It pretty much just when the thunder's coming in, you gotta run. So the two of them go to run, and the brother's reaching out his hand, which I would assume is to make sure his sister's okay. And as soon as their hands connect, lightning strikes her arm, and that somehow just channels all into the brother.
And it like kills her left arm.
Mm-hmm.
And she has like lightning marks.
Which it's cool.
It's a cool effect.
That is something that actually happens. Like if you've ever looked it up, people that are struck by lightning will have that scarred on their body. But my thing is, why did it not kill her as well?
Plot.
Why did it only send her brother on vacation?
Plot.
Yeah, dumb plot. That's what it is.
But we learned that this chick works for Area 51 and that Mulligan has been transported to Area 51.
Yeah, Mulligan wasn't killed, essentially.
Well, from what I understand and what they were saying, Mulligan appeared dead because the symbiote that was in him was dead.
Mm,
Because they moved him because they wanted to try to bond him with another one.
right.
And so Mulligan is compatible with this other one,
Yep.
which is Toxin.
Which is his comic accurate symbiote.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Go ahead.
I won't describe the design just yet, but I love the design.
Oh, I love Toxin.
Oh, is it the same design in the comics?
It's the same color.
I'm talking like physical appearance, not just color.
I mean, like this. I know what you mean.
I love the way
No,
it moves.
the way it moves is not like the comics.
I figured as much.
In the comics, he's just essentially like a blue Venom or a
Okay.
blue Carnage.
Yeah. But
The liberty they took, I love it.
oh, it's so good.
And I think it makes sense to make him, and I'm going to say this very lightly, snake-like. Because Toxin.
Yeah.
It's implied. But no, he is very fluid in this movie, and I really do like it.
Which all of the out of all of the symbiotes that we see later on in the movie, there's only one other that has a really unique design by themselves. And I'll get into that later.
I do like how all of them have their own thing, and they do make sure to emphasize, like, hey, everyone is different.
Yeah.
And like how the colors are very specific to their species.
Yeah.
Um, Venom and Eddie.
Vetty. I just at this point I just wrote down the duo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to skip this real quick. Mulligan is compatible,
Mm-hmm.
and he gives a warning to Strickland and Dr. Page,
Yep.
who is the blonde lady.
The sister.
That darkness is coming. And he doesn't say anything other than that.
But go ahead. Sorry.
But like he's very, very ominous about it, but he's very much intending like we are the ones trying to save you.
Yeah.
Please do not undo our work.
Which I don't know if this is just a me thing, but it almost seemed like Toxin kind of beamed some knowledge into Dr. Page's head.
Kind of. It kind of seems that way. But like then we don't get that ever again.
No, so it's like, well, what was the point of that? That seemed kind of really not
Pointless.
no, it seemed pointless. It just was like, was there any real reason for us to say, hey, this character can do this, and then never delve on it again?
Pretty much.
That's dumb. I hated that.
So now we have Venom hanging out on the outside of an airplane.
No, we have Vetty.
We have Venom's hand stuck to an airplane with Eddie grasping for dear life.
Yes. And you can immediately tell this is not an Eddie plan, which this comes back to something.
He said it was like, man, I got the superhero that can't fly.
And Venom's like, oh, you want to fly? So, yeah, we're on a. Oh, they said the plane name. It was like an A.
It's a passenger plane.
It was an A360,
Something like that.
which Eddie thought was a Boeing 737.
Yeah. And we get our first.
Xenophage hunt.
I'll let you go after. I'll let you take this.
So, Eddie's complaining about being cold, his mouth is dry, which is understandable. They're going roughly what? 5, however fast a plane goes, at 32,000 feet in the air. So Venom covers him up in his true form. We then cut to the xenophage, which I love the way it sees. It's all in black and white with different shades showing elevation. And then it's like zooms into its target, which is the codex.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a good 1,000 miles away, the xenophage jumps once. It's above the clouds. It's closed that distance in 30 seconds, and it's on top of that plane.
And immediately Venom is scared.
Yeah. And it almost gives like a first instance of Venom versus Carnage,
Mm-hmm.
but Venom is more terrified this time around.
And only by happenstance is the xenophage kicked into one of the jet the jets
Yep.
and torn to shreds.
Which, with Venom being scared, he reverts back inside of Eddie, which causes Eddie to fly off the plane. Which, don't worry, Eddie's fine, because Venom makes a parachute.
But it makes one of his boots fall off.
Yeah, this is the part we're talking about. Eddie never really keeps both shoes for very long, if at all.
But no, I love the effect of Venom this time because like he does like the whole popping out of his back or whatever. And he's just like,
Yeah.
he just like hides behind his back or whatever and just keeps looking everywhere. And we get the thing about how what the xenophages are, who Null is, essentially like the lore dump of the film
Yeah.
for Eddie to have the information.
And then we get introduced to who we both call them by different names. Logan calls them the hippies. I call them the Moons because the wife's last name is Moon.
So
Or
this is quote unquote Dr. Kirk Connor's
who
family.
is Martin.
Martin.
We have Martin Moon, Nova Moon, Leaf Moon, and Echo Moon. And they're taking a little or a huge family vacation
To
to
Area
go
51.
before it's decommissioned.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're driving, the xenophage bits fall on their car. And they're just like, oh, must have kicked up some gravel. And this is where the truly terrifying part comes in. The xenophage starts putting itself back together, even after being shredded into easily millions of bits.
I think that goes to show how like unholy of a creation that Noel made with these things.
Because when I first saw them in theaters, I was, oh, that's terrifying. I wonder how they're going to be able to beat it.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
But then Eddie finds a horse. I'll let you take this part.
Well, first we got to talk about the like lore dump of the codex.
The xenomorph cannot see the codex unless Venom. Xenophage, sorry.
Completely different kind of aliens.
Oh, did I say xenomorph?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I had a feeling that'd be coming up.
Well, you know what? They kind of look somewhat similar.
The head is the only thing that looks even somewhat like a xenomorph.
Kind of, yes. But the xenophage,
there you go,
can only see the codex if a symbiote is in its true form, which is when it completely like morphs like Venom.
Yes. And a codex is only created when the two life energies of both symbiote and host become one.
And that is when a symbiote resurrects its host from the dead.
Yes. And Eddie's like, oh yeah, no, we're fine as long as I don't die.
And Venom's like, except that one time. He's like, oh, crap.
Which it shows us cutting back to the first movie.
When Riot stabs Eddie with the spear thing.
Through the chest, killing him.
And this is what goes back to me saying that Noel's mission for the xenophages happened in between 1 and 2.
Probably.
So that's where that little rant came into place.
Fair enough.
Now then, Venom horse.
So, you know, Eddie lost both his boots at this point, and he's just kind of tired of walking. No, he only lost one boot. I apologize. And he's tired of walking, and they come over a little cliff because they're in the desert, and Venom sees a horse. And he says, "Come here, horsey, horsey, horsey."
And Eddie's like, how fast can you make this move without killing it?
I love Venom because he's just like, "We'll find out." And oh, he moves.
This dude can jump over mountains and stuff.
And how fast would you say that was going? About 100 miles?
I would say somewhere between 100 and 200.
Because it's enough to kick up dust.
And I love how now Venom's tongue is like 3 foot long and is just smacking Eddie in the face as he's riding it.
Which, I mean, it makes sense. Because Venom's tongue is already long as is. And horses have ridiculously long tongues already. It's a very fun sequence. And it ties into what the credits do.
Right.
But Venom horse, everybody. Really cool design. I actually really love it.
I think this is a highlight of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
showing how Venom can adapt to other beings.
Which I'll talk about this a little later because I keep remembering it. Some animals' instincts override Venom's control.
Yes.
And we'll get to that in just a little bit.
So it cuts back to Area 51, and Strickland does not trust symbiotes at all.
No, he absolutely hates them.
And so he sends out an attack on Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get this aerial attack, and it separates Eddie from Venom.
Because these military personnel or special ops personnel have sound guns, which, props to them for designing it.
And this is when we get the river sequence.
I'll let you take this.
Thanks. I love the water work. I think they did a lot of in water camera work.
Oh, absolutely.
In this sequence. Eddie ends up killing a soldier with, and this is Eddie's first time killing anybody just himself.
And you and I talked about this. You can see how destroyed he is doing this.
Just right after he does it.
Because this is the first time he's killed without Venom there. So therefore, he can't just say, oh, Venom did it for himself. He can't justify doing it like that. But he can justify it as his life or theirs.
And so just watching Venom move through the water to try to get to Eddie is cool.
It's like ferrofluid, living ferrofluid, and I love it.
And we get more Venom creatures. We get fish Venom.
Bigger fish Venom.
And we get frog Venom.
And this is the creature I was wanting to talk about. Because at no point would Venom naturally go out of his way to eat a fly.
Right.
But the frog's instincts were stronger than Venom. So Venom ends up flicking his tongue, eating the fly, and then coughing it up because that was disgusting for Venom.
Right. And then, of course, Venom reattaches to Eddie and saves him by going full form.
From a waterfall.
Yes. And then, of course, a xenophage shows up.
The xenophage, they can detect that codex from anywhere. And when they find it, they move.
And so this xenophage kills all
the other 3.
Yes. The other 3 of Strickland's men. And so this kind of sends Strickland over more towards villain territory. And so Strickland and Payne learn about Null from Toxin. And this is Toxin's real first appearance.
And oh, his appearance is so creepy, but it's so cool.
He's snake-like.
Yeah, it's a snake human,
Yeah, he has no legs.
and I love it. It just he moves so fluidly, and it's so jarring to see, but it's so cool.
Yeah. And he's not a threat of any kind
No,
because all of the symbiotes are like, they know what's up.
they know the real threat, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't want that getting out."
And he tells him, like, hey, the codex can only be destroyed if one of them die.
Yeah,
And so Strickland essentially takes that as like, all right, let's kid Ellie Brock, everybody.
let's kill them both. Which is definitely a thought to have about the situation.
Oh, yeah. And Eddie meets the hippies.
And like, I love how they interact with each other. It's just, it feels very family-esque for a character that normally doesn't have a family in these kind of movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very. And I talked to you about this because, like, I think this helps him. And, like, the film, I think, benefits from not having Dan and Anne in it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think this sequence, because he goes on a road trip with him and he goes to Vegas with him, but this helps Eddie understand, like,
Connecting with others.
connecting and what life is about other than success or having the girl of your dreams or just being the lethal protector. Because, like, there's so much more to life.
Because one scene that stands out to me is this is later on when they're on their way to Vegas. Leaf, the boy, dumb name, I know, he wakes up Eddie to give him a chocolate bar, which immediately that's like really cool.
Mm-hmm.
A little kid giving a complete stranger something the kid isn't supposed to have. But the kid opens up to Eddie and he's like, I hope aliens aren't real. I really don't want to see any. And Eddie's just kind of reassuring him and he's like, well, not all aliens are bad. And the kid's like, will I see any aliens? In which Eddie responds in the most, what's the word?
Dad way.
No, in the most protective lie possible.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells the kid that aliens are not real.
Yeah.
And this was a really sweet moment because even Venom's like, you did the right thing. And Venom's like, you'd make an excellent father.
Yeah. Because, like, there's like a sing along thing that happens before this.
Mm-hmm.
And Venom's like, you should sing, Eddie. And Tom Hardy's just like, mm.
Yeah, Logan's like, oh, it'd be so cool to hear Tom Hardy sing as part of this. And I'm like, he is singing.
And then my argument was like, yeah, no, not Tom Hardy doing voice acting. I'm talking about Tom Hardy.
It's still Tom Hardy, though.
That's fair. It's whatever. But we get to Vegas, and Martin gives him money and shoes.
Which, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money.
It's just $20 in ones.
Yeah. But yeah, Eddie gets his shoes.
And Venom, then they see a thing of a Statue of Liberty, and Venom was like, I would like to see it, Eddie. And Venom was like, Eddie's like, we'll see it, buddy, don't worry. And so he tries to get into a casino to get more money.
Mm-hmm.
And they kick him out because of his dress code.
Which he dresses like I do normally.
He got cargo shorts, sandals, a t-shirt, and a Hawaiian shirt on. He's like, dude, this is my hotel. This is my vacation clothes. Like, what do you want me to do?
And the bouncer's just like, get better vacation clothes.
Okay, I guess. And so he sees this guy in a black tuxedo peeing.
He knocks out the bouncer, though.
But yeah, so he's like, I'm sorry about this. And Venom's head just comes out and just knocks out the guy.
It's like, How does nobody else see that? That's like, I know a lot of weird stuff happens in Vegas, but how do you not see that?
I got nothing. But no, he goes over to this guy in a tuxedo who's peeing,
and he's heavily drunk.
and so he not taps on the guy's shoulder. He turns around, still peeing, and he starts peeing on Eddie's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he's just like, you know what? I got something for you. He's like, what? He pulls out his hand, and Venom's arm just takes over and just slaps him in the face. And then they swap clothes. And Venom's like, you could have been the sexiest man of the year. In which Tom Hardy has been.
Which is, I brought that up. I'm like, wasn't he the sexiest man of the year at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, both you and Carly answered it at the same time, and I'm like, oh.
Because you gotta admit, Tom Hardy's a pretty good looking guy.
He is.
But no, he gets in, and what does Venom do? The first thing he does, Caden?
He gambles it all. He bets it all on black. No, he doesn't. He does do slot machines though.
Yep, and so he just starts slapping random buttons and everything, and Eddie's like, "This is all the money we have." No. And then he stands up and he kicks the machine and he breaks Eddie's foot. And he's like, "I should have been on that machine."
Where a lady had just won the big bucks.
Caden, who is it?
Mrs. Chen.
Woohoo! Chenum back in the house.
Actually, no, there's no Chenum.
This is Chen.
Is it Mrs. or Miss?
Mrs.
Mrs.
I think she's divorced or the husband died or something. I'm not
Mhm.
entirely sure. But apparently she's been there for a while and she's been living it up big.
Yeah, she's got a penthouse suite and everything.
Like, and she's even like was able to buy up like half a freaking clothing store, I guess.
Oh, it's so cool.
And I wrote down Mrs. Chen saves the day.
Yeah, because she essentially lets the duo bunk with her for a couple hours.
Yeah, because she's like, is the big guy in there? Does he think I look good?
I love Chen and Venom.
It is they are such a sweet duo.
They are.
Because I think Mrs. Chen matches his energy more than Eddie does.
Mm-hmm.
The ooh. The attention span of a gnat thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it cuts over to Strickland taking control of I forget what it's called.
Imperial program.
The
Imperium.
The Imperium project, which is the symbiote project over at Area 51.
55. Yeah. Area 51's being decommissioned. Area 55 sits underneath Area 51.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense now. I was like,
which Area 55 is completely unknown about, undetectable, untraceable.
Which is
nothing.
the Imperium project.
Yes.
I was like, Area 55? What?
Yeah, they brought it up several times.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to half the Area 51 stuff. I was like, alien, symbiotes, Null, gotcha. Let the rest do the legwork.
Yeah, let me do the legwork.
Yeah. But we have a Chenum dance-off.
I wouldn't even say dance off. I wrote down in my notes, Venom gets saucy with Chen.
He does do a couple questionable hip thrusts in that dance sequence.
He does, but it's fine. It's
They
fine.
they dance to Dancing Queen by ABBA.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie's like, no, we're all right. And Venom's like, screw this. So he just takes over. He's like, dude, what about the xenophages? I'm dancing. And I do love, however, I'm gonna bring this up. Eddie loves his dress shoes. They're his favorite shoes.
The ones that he stole off the one guy.
Yes. But like, so they're doing their dance number, and a xenophage comes crashing through the ceiling, and he's like, and Venom disappears, and he's like, don't move. So it leaves, and then 2 seconds later, Strickland shows up.
Yeah.
Separates Eddie from Venom. Eddie gets his shoes taken away from him.
Carly pointed this out. He's like, my shoes.
And then he just turns and does like the pouty face, and then he gets pulled up to the helicopter.
It's so funny.
And Mrs. Chen has left the chat, and we never see her again, sadly.
Yeah, Mrs. Chen was trying to stand up for Eddie, and the guys pointed guns at her, and she's like, "Oh,
Nope, never
my
mind.
bad. Go
Sorry,
ahead,
sorry,
take 'em."
sorry. But the family sneaks to Area 51,
Mm-hmm.
and Venom is put with all the other symbiotes.
Yes, in which there's about 8 or 9.
There's about 10 others. The family climbs up to the old radio tower just to look out over everything.
Because when they reach 51, they sneak in too. Bless you.
Thank you. But Eddie wakes up in a prison cell, very nice prison cell,
Oh yeah.
and he sees Mulligan, and they talk, and they drag Eddie out, and they're about to shoot him, and they do.
Which we haven't mentioned this character because she doesn't do anything. I don't remember her name.
They literally call her Christmas. So she's Dr. Payne's assistant. She wears a Christmas tree thing on her lab coat
that her mom made her.
Yeah. And so she took Venom
Mhm.
and gives it to Eddie and saves Eddie's life. So there's 2 codexes. I'm just kidding.
Oh, imagine if that's how it works. Now Eddie has 2 codexes.
That's just when like 3 other Xenovages show up. Super Codex. Null want.
Like, no, you can have it. It's not worth it.
You know what? Just take my life. It's yours. I don't have the energy for this. But he saves Eddie, and then a xenophage attacks. Toxin throws himself in there and starts strangling the xenophage and tells Venom to run.
To get the army.
Get the army, set them free, and get out of here. Keep the Codex safe. And Toxin goes on vacation.
Yeah, it was really, again, the method of death that the xenophage uses is...
They're wood chippers.
Yeah, there's no other way to put it. There's like 100 rows of teeth constantly rotating inward, like saw blades, all around its mouth.
And then it just shoots out their back shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they did Toxin really well in this movie because it shows that Mulligan was still able to be a hero.
Yeah.
Because while they did butt heads in the last movie, they both knew that they were on the right side. And just the fact that Mulligan was willing to sacrifice himself. Because Mulligan was there.
No, that's what I was going to ask. Was that Mulligan or was that Toxin?
I think it was both of them. Because I think they bonded at the level that, like...
Eddie and Venom?
Mm-hmm. Because, like, there's a reason the other symbiote had died. Because that was one that was Carnage's offspring. And that one died.
Right.
For a reason. Just so he could be combined with this one.
Right.
So Toxin's dead, and the Xenos are still attacking, and Venom releases all of them. So now we get an ultimate big old battle.
Big old CGI battle. One CGI monster versus a bunch of smaller CGI monsters.
So we get this thing-looking one with big arms.
They're really cool, but...
It's just like they tried to give different ones different attributes.
It's like, I looked it up. They supposedly do have comic book counterparts, but I don't know how well I believe that. But
I would say for some of them, they loosely adapted others. The other one just like, ooh, brown one. Let's make him like a rock.
Which, he's really cool. He is like the Thing.
Yeah. I was really waiting for them to say clobbering time.
I would cry.
It's clobbering time.
But
All right, wrap the film. We're done here.
The first one that gets introduced is the Thing, which is what I'll call it.
hmm The next was knockoff anti venom,
Yes, which is just like a
a white one, really,
agile, stretchy,
kind
and
of.
goes down super quickly. Like
Yeah,
she doesn't.
there's a lot of them that go down super quickly.
There's only like two or three. The rest actually managed to.
The others hold their own.
Yeah, but
The other two mold into one.
yeah, there's two blue ones. One's like a. They're both bulky, but one's more like spaghetti texture. The other is more smooth, sharp edges.
Yeah, and I asked Kane because like there is a symbiote that there's like three of them that merge together to make one super symbiote, and he's looking that up right now.
I am.
But these guys are mostly like they make almost like spider webs
And
with.
they're like super elastic. They're like
Oh yeah.
Carnage level.
Mm-hmm. And so you got those, and Dr. Payne steals one small vial of a purple one, and then let's see, where are we? Yeah. And just as the battle almost ends in the inside, we have some
Hybrid
hybrid.
is
That
a
one.
Marvel Comics symbiote. It combines the traits of and goo of four distinct offspring of Venom. The merged symbiote bonded with Scott Washington, a security guard who used its powers for vigilante justice. Let me look up. Oh, hold on, I had it. Agony, Lasher, Phage, and Riot. So
Ah,
Toxin was not a part of that.
but that makes sense with there only being two of them because Riot was dead.
But that also makes me wonder if they're a part of Hybrid.
I'm gonna guess those two are what's left of hybrid.
Well, there was three from what I looked up,
I know, but Riot was in the first movie and Riot's dead.
but Phage wasn't yet. So that's why I'm thinking that's not Hybrid.
Mm. You know what? My head canon, I'm calling it hybrid. I don't care. We'll
Fair
do whatever
enough.
we want to. But the xenophage calls in reinforcements.
No, there's a big fight before that.
I know, but like the big battle, just after the big battle, the xenophage calls in reinforcements.
Yeah, and it cuts down pretty much.
All the other all the other symbiotes.
Which there was one cool.
A lava looking one.
Uh-huh.
He just like runs almost exactly into the xenophage's mouth.
But before the reinforcements is called, you did forget one thing. Strickland ends up shooting the xenophage with a rocket.
That doesn't happen yet.
Yes, it does. Because there's only one xenophage at this point.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So Strickland aims a incendiary rocket.
And before you do that, Christmas now has her own symbiote.
Oh yes, and I think this one's called Slasher.
Slasher, because and she carries most of this final battle.
She's very agile. She's very quick, and she's got the multiple sharp weapon style like Carnage does. So she's just jumping onto the symbiote, stab, 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 jump away, come back, stab, stab, stab. But you got three symbiotes, then two, then one. Which this is the Thing symbiote that we've talked about, and he's holding the symbiote down, and he's doing a good job. But Strickland moves the the laser sight.
Yeah,
he moves the laser sight from the xenophage to the symbiote and fires on it, killing both it and the host instantly.
Yep.
And this is when Christmas kind of looks at him and be like, he was helping us. Why would you shoot him?
He was like, we are not the bad guys. We're trying to protect you.
Yeah.
And this kind of changes his attitude.
Kind of, but not really.
But then Eddie lures them away with a motorcycle chase.
Of course, we got to have one of those.
Tom Hardy peek on a motorcycle. That's all we're gonna say here. He's gonna lead him into a kill box.
Which, really smart idea, honestly.
Until it fails. Strickland gets impaled by one of the xenophages. And Martin shoots a xenophage with an RPG. Cool. He just drops and he's like, I'm sorry. Which I'm glad that the family met Eddie, Venom, which we didn't really skip, which we kind of skipped over because there's just so much happening in this last 45 minutes of this movie.
I'm looking up the individual.
Okay.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Lasher, part of Hybrid,
Mm-hmm.
has the same color scheme as Slasher. Is that what her name was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Green and red. So maybe that's who it was.
So I'm going to guess Hybrid was there, but they just didn't combine.
No.
Which, well, again, that would be cool, but I understand why they didn't.
That's a really overpowered symbiote.
And two, that wouldn't let the Christmas lady get to do her thing.
No.
But after that, the Christmas symbiote does die.
Yeah.
Because the xenophage uses its shock sound wave attack.
Which I think it's kind of dumb that it now has this.
Yeah, because now it can somehow separate symbiote from host, just like that.
But I think that was dumb.
Mm-hmm. Eddie's injured, and they climb into a helicopter, and Eddie says, they're essentially saying their goodbyes.
Yeah.
And then Venom, he's like, this is it, partner. I wish I could have got to see the Statue of Liberty, man.
And Eddie's just kind of like, no, yeah, we'll see her.
We'll see her, buddy. We'll see her.
As he's actively bleeding out from the side.
Venom saves him, and then they just walk out and they do like the Christ pose. And he seems like, come get me, boys.
Which is a really cool scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because as they're walking, they not like super flashy transform. They just slowly turn into Venom's true form.
Mm-hmm. And then Venom absorbs all of the xenophages.
I wouldn't say absorb. I would say kind of
Traps them.
Traps, collects.
And then he kicks Eddie out. And then he takes them all to an acid shower.
Which I did write that down in the note. The hyperacid, the solvent.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew that would come back later.
Yeah, because they use that to destroy all the evidence of Area 51.
Mm-hmm. Which, real quick, I love the design for Xeno Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes on a it's massive.
Oh, it's huge.
It's at least 3 stories tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quadruped with 3 tails.
Yep.
Oh, it's so cool.
And then, Strickland turns it on. He has a grenade, and he blows everything up. And so Venom is gone.
Yes. Which, when Venom kicked Eddie out, he put like a blast-proof door over him, and he's like, I won't forget about you, Eddie. And don't you forget about me.
And he's like, this is goodbye for now. Which has no real implications.
Anymore.
No. Which, because I'm surprised he didn't leave like a little piece of himself behind.
It makes sense, though, because there would still be the codex.
Right. But Payne uses her symbiote, and it is a purple speedster.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Agony. I love Agony's design.
Oh, it's very cool.
But So Dr. Payne has a dead arm because of the lightning strike, and she's now able to use her arm
Yeah.
because of agony, which is really cool. Um, and Eddie wakes up and his record is expunged, and he moves to New York, and we get a flashback sequence of him just thinking about all the times him and Eddie had together.
Him and Venom.
Mm-hmm.
You said him and Eddie.
Oh well, Vetty, whatever you want to call it. But he makes it to the Statue of Liberty, and he says, "I'll never forget you, buddy." And we have a post-credit scene with Null, which was supposed to implicate that he would be the main villain of the SSU, the Sony Spider-Man universe.
Mm.
And we get a cockroach with the bartender and a Viola symbiote in another post-credit scene. And that is Let Venom the Last Dance.
Let Venom the last.
Let Venom have the last dance.
the
The movie.
movie. Oh. Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie.
Well, all right. First time watch for you. What did you think?
A minus.
A minus?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I feel like if I would have cried, I would have gotten A plus. But like, I just feel like, I don't know, it didn't hit all the emotional heartstrings. But because I feel like it's just such a goofy combo, the two of them.
Yeah. See, when I first watched it, you can rag on me all you want for this. I did cry.
I understand that completely. But I just feel like if there was much more heartfelt stuff between the two of them, besides comedic stuff, I'm sure it would have. Because they weren't really heartfelt since the first movie. Not really.
No.
They leaned heavily on the comedy. But you know what? It works out.
It's still a good movie no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Okay, do you want to do the ranking first, or do you want to do questions first?
We'll do questions first.
All right. Do you think Riot was trying to lead the symbiotes to safety from Null in the first movie, or do you think he was trying to rule over the symbiotes?
I think Riot was trying to rule over the symbiotes because realistically, we already know that there's way more out there than what we've been shown.
Right.
But his ambitions, if every other symbiote was like the ones in the third movie, Riot wouldn't have been willing to kill anybody.
Right.
He would have been willing to work with people.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he killed and killed and killed to get his way.
Yeah.
So I definitely think he was willing to rule. What do you think?
I think he was trying to rule over them, but I think he definitely understood what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he was definitely trying to carve his little slice of royalty off on the side there.
Yep.
Because since Noel was gone, I think he was trying to be the new king.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro, it didn't work out for you.
No. It also didn't help that his host was also as maniacal as he was.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to take a question?
Oh.
You even have one?
I did not have one, but I'm thinking of one real quick. All right, what was your favorite symbiote that you saw?
Besides Venom?
Besides Venom in the third movie only.
Toxin.
Toxin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's the one who gets the most screen time, so he's the one that we get the most acclimated to.
Yeah, but we don't see him in combat as much as the others.
No, I think it would have to go Venom, Toxin, and Agony. In fourth place, I would put Christmas because of how heavy lifting she did.
Mm-hmm.
But Agony has such a cool design.
See, I would have to put Christmas above Agony.
Really?
Well, Slashers just seems like a much more... In the movie, she was a lot more practical than Agony was.
I'm just a big fan of speedsters.
Yeah.
So.
But For me personally, I would have to go with either Slasher or one of the two conjoined symbiotes.
Gotcha. I get that.
Just personally, I would have to go with the first conjoined symbiote.
The one who had the edges.
I
He's pretty cool.
I think he looked a lot cooler than the other one.
I feel like if they would have given that much amount of detail to Carnage and let there be Carnage, peak. Okay. My last question. Do you think Annie will get back into journalism?
I don't think so.
Do you think he's finally going to move on with his life?
I think he will. With everything that's gone on and with everything he's learned, I think he'll move past journalism. So,
I agree with that.
oh, all right. If hybrid were actually in the movie, like all four symbiotes, do you think the outcome would change at all?
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Hybrid is one of the cataloged strongest symbiotes in the comics.
But against the xenophages?
I feel like with the xenophages, they'd still have an issue, but I feel like there'd be less of an issue than some of the others.
Yeah.
Do I think they'd be able to curb stomp one? No. Would they be able to hold their own?
Absolutely.
Yes.
See, for me, I know hybrid could hold their own. I don't know if they'd be able to beat a single xenophage.
They'd be able to tear it apart, but like I said,
keeping it down.
yeah, it's a war of attrition at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all my questions.
Yeah, that's all I got. But this is just kind of going to the credits now. What was your favorite Venom animal that you saw?
The eagle.
The eagle?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
See, I think the crocodile was pretty cool as well.
I would have to also pick the penguin. That's pretty sick.
The one that I think was the dumbest was the elephant.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no practical application in that you're just spitting out black ooze everywhere with your.
I don't even think that would be like an actual ability. I was talking about like the teeth.
Yeah.
That just seems really impractical.
Yeah, I'm not. But no, the penguin was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
All you see is just.
I do like how they kept the black and white on it.
Mm-hmm. I love how the beak was still orange. They just gave him venom teeth and a tongue. You're just a fish swimming around. You just see that penguin like, oh my god, that penguin is diseased. Swim away, swim away.
No, there'd be no swimming away from that.
No.
With how fast Venom made that horse,
the fish would think it could swim away.
oh my god, think about it. With how big Venom made that horse, how big do you think that elephant would end up getting?
That's like Jumanji-sized elephants.
I think that your penguin would probably be about the size of a human. Yeah.
Yeah, no. No, I'm all right.
That's horrifying to think
And
about.
your alligator would be the size of a T-Rex.
No, the alligator would be about as long as a bus.
There's a lot of implications that get scary in that scenario.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. No, I'm all right. All right. On to Real Bros Ranked.
Yippee.
Do. Hey. That's our new theme song. Copyrighted. Ka-ching.
Oh, yeah. Right.
This is when Arnold bursts down the door. How dare you use this theme song?
All right.
All right. In both last place for us, Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah.
The reason it is in last place, from what I understand, is just minor gripes.
Yeah.
Undercooked story, and just them not understanding the source material.
Like, if they would pick one version of Carnage or the other, then it would make sense. But I feel like they were trying to do two different versions at once.
They tried to do a Joker meets a PG-13 Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't work out for him.
And love Woody Harrelson to death,
Oh yeah,
but I don't think he should have been cast as Cletus
I
Cassidy.
I think he would have been fine if they would have made him be more like Cletus Cassidy instead of Woody Harrelson. If he would
Yeah.
have had been forced to act,
Yeah.
because he is a great actor,
Mm-hmm.
but he just needs to be forced to do things other than just Woody Harrelson things. Woody Harrelson works for Tallahassee because Tallahassee is essentially a heightened Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Cletus Cassidy needs to be acted. It cannot just be a I'm gonna kill you. And no, that's not that. You have to go into the
Yeah, Cletus Cassidy is, by all intents and purposes, the Joker of the Marvel Universe.
So yeah, you have to go there, and he just didn't.
It's just, there's a lot of minor things about the movie that all added up for us.
Yeah, visually, it's the best movie.
So I think the fight was pretty good.
I think the imagery is the strongest
Yeah.
in Let There Be Carnage. But other than that, it was a great movie.
All of them are great movies.
I just think Let There Be Carnage needed to cook for like 6 more months, add like a half an hour to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Cinema. You got me.
Oh, yeah.
In second place,
Second place, there you go, is the third movie,
The
The
Last Dance. Flawless movie. I think the scope and scale is perfect for a trilogy like this. Do I think it's kind of shoehorned?
A little bit.
Kind of. Do I feel like they could have implicated Null earlier to kind of give us an awareness of him? Yes. Do I personally think that this movie should have had anti-venom in it?
No.
I feel like that would have been a natural raise up from Carnage, because Carnage is his arch enemy,
Mhm.
but anti-venom is one of his most famous enemies. Null,
Carnage is more famous.
oh, I know, but like he's one of.
Yeah.
Null is only known to people who are fans of the Marvel symbiote world.
Right.
Null is one of the deepest cuts you can find. And that's only because he is a newer character, yes, but also because he hasn't been in a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
Anti-Venom has been around for a long time. Is he a natural antithesis to Venom? Yes. Would he be a natural third story to tell? I think so. Do I think if they would have done more and naturally built up to Null, I think that would have played out better? Yes. But I just feel like they kind of threw him in there because, like, hey man, let's do Null so we can make him the big bad of the Sony movies. Yes. Do I think they should have only used Null if they were planning on him being unleashed? Yes. But those are really my only gripes. The rest of the movie is pretty amazing.
See, my biggest gripe, I feel like there's too many symbiotes. I hate saying that because I love seeing them all, but you're going to make all these symbiotes, you're going to design them, give them unique abilities.
Just to kill them off.
Yeah, super quickly too.
I feel like, and I'm going to build off of what you're saying here. I feel like that's another thing that's like, it's not a natural buildup. Because, like, yeah, the Life Foundation had symbiotes, but we really kind of jumped off that train with the second movie.
Yeah.
So, like, where are these symbiotes coming from?
Which, granted, they explained that Strickland found them when they first crashed,
Right.
but only a handful managed to get away.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a good idea to bring so many symbiotes in just for them to be killed off so quickly. I understand that they did that because the series was ending, but
It's like the Iron Man 3 effect, where they're
Yeah.
bringing in all these famous Iron Man suits just to have them destroyed.
But still, there were a lot of cool symbiotes
Mhm.
there that I know I've looked up, fans were disappointed did not get more screen time.
Yeah.
Like the lava symbiote. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to tell me a symbiote can catch fire and still function? That's cool.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. And there was just Christmas. My other gripe was her. She didn't really do a whole lot.
And then became a heavy hitter for the third act of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate at least she was in some scenes before becoming a heavy hitter, but
Right.
she didn't really warrant that big of a reason.
To be a hero in like the
Like, if it was Paige, that'd be different.
right.
That's warranted. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
She has been in at least a good half of the movie.
Yeah.
She's actively trying to work with the symbiotes rather than kill them.
Yeah.
And I think her getting her symbiote as late as she did in the movie was a huge waste of potential.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely has some writing issues.
But other than that, I love it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, it definitely has more of that feels good at the end of it
Yeah.
rather than like the taste Let There Be Carnage leaves in your mouth.
Let There Be Carnage just leaves me wanting
More.
more. And
And it's
a
supposed to do
better
that
more.
as like it's the second movie.
Yeah.
But like it left you wanting more of like, man, this movie this movie was definitely missing like a half an hour of stuff, but because like that was like the first thing I said to you when we walked out of the theaters. It's like, man, that movie was missing like a solid half an hour of stuff.
It just Let There Be Carnage was definitely I don't want to say it, but it was underwhelming.
You know what?
It was
And that ties back to the whole how do you do Carnage in PG-13 and get it away with it?
you don't.
Yeah.
Unless you do a lot of off-screen kills that are brought up through constant like side
Like you
news
find
channels.
like you stumble across
Yeah.
the Carnage.
Or you hear on the news how there's been a massive massacre. You can't do Cletus Cassidy well.
Yeah. You have to let Carnage wreak carnage.
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey, I'm going to get married. I'm going to let all these people pass by me live, even though I know I would secretly murder them in the most heinous ways possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not how you do that.
No.
And in first place, Venom 2018.
Now this movie is it's the foundation for
Mhm.
the other two. And when I first saw the trailer, I was a little skeptical because I'm like, Venom is by all means the Spider-Man villain.
Mhm.
Without Spider-Man, you really don't have Venom.
Yeah.
But Sony did it. They made it work, and they made it really work really well.
And I told Kane this is because Venom first appeared as not a Spider-Man character. You didn't know this at the time. And like they went to what made Venom a standalone character. They made him an anti-hero.
Yeah.
And that's all thanks to Todd McFarlane because he's a Todd McFarlane character.
Mhm.
It was amazing anti-heroes like Spawn, all their characters like that. They stuck really close to the source material. They were able to bring a character like Venom, made him charismatic, and made him likable.
Yeah.
To where everybody's like, man, he's like the heinous Spider-Man villain. He's the one who always breaks Peter Parker. Like, no. Venom is naturally an amazing hero.
Right.
But you need to have an Eddie Brock that is just that way and not like a dick.
Yeah.
And so Tom Hardy just brought an amazing performance.
Through all three movies.
But like you can definitely tell he had to go over the top because he's not used to it in the first one. So his performance is the strongest in acting wise on the first one. And I think the only bad part about the first movie is the longest one because you have to build up to Venom.
And you have to build up to the first other symbiote.
Mm-hmm. And so you have this half an hour of just no Venom content because you have to establish everything. And I think it just dragged in that first half hour. Whereas the rest of the movie was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the only thing that was wrong with that first movie. And that's why all the other ones are shorter. Because they're like, well, screw it. Let's just throw them in there. Have fun.
I'm trying to think.
Also,
Oh.
the first one's visually the best one.
Oh, absolutely. Um, I think the first one is the best in every category, from visually to storytelling to acting. It's all there. It's all perfect. I'm trying to think. I'm really thinking. Um, there's nothing I can really think of about the first Venom movie that I can gripe on. Like, even that first half hour,
Right.
I knew eventually we were gonna get Venom, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
But
Yeah, but I do kind of understand like where like the building upon thing, because like you definitely could tell the story was meant to go to Carnage next.
mm-hmm.
I think in the through line there wasn't as much of a clear direction, and that's why they just threw Nolan in there. I think it cohesively as a trilogy it works fine. I think it could have been better,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. But yeah, no, it's an amazing trilogy. And the first film is the strongest because of everything we've said, and there's no real downfalls to it.
Yeah.
That's why it was in last season. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I love these movies.
Um, I don't know if we've done this, but for the entire franchise, out of 10, what would you rank it?
The first movie, or
The
just
entire franchise.
are we
All three Venom movies as the coherent story that they are.
in like a number scale?
1 through 10. 10 being the
Uh,
best.
I give it a 7
7?
because like the first half, there's definitely a trajectory, and then after two, it's just like, hey, let's just give it another famous Venom villain.
Right.
But because like you could definitely tie it back to like the Life Foundation, because like he doesn't have to be there for the Life Foundation. They could have very easily tried to reverse engineer a symbiote, anti venom, and then that could have been like a tie back to make it a big old cohesive trilogy and have anti venom chasing venom across the globe.
Right.
You could have very easily had that. But yeah, like it works. It still works. But yeah, I think it could have been a much more natural thing than what they did. Um, but yeah, I give it a 7, just because of how, like how, I don't want to say this. It's not as cohesive visually and narratively. So like it does feel like there's different people behind the helms of all of
Right.
them. Now, if Flesher would have just stayed in control for all three movies, chef's kiss. But yeah, I give it a 7.
I'd have to bump it up. I'm going to give it a 8.5.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, it sticks really true to the characters that
Mm-hmm.
need to be a part of it. And the stories work well enough for what they're designed around. And I'm always keeping in mind, this is a Venom movie. This is not a Spider-Man spinoff. This
Yeah.
is a Venom movie. And when I keep that in mind, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Without Spider-Man, this works really well.
Is Venom the strongest with Spider-Man? Yeah. But on his own, he's still a pretty decent character.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, guys. We just wrapped up the Venom trilogy. We're heading into another big old monster of a film series.
Shut shut mouth.
Next week, we are diving into the Monsterverse.
Specifically, because there's a whole lot of Monsterverse, we are diving into the legendary Monsterverse. We're not discussing the Shoujo, the Heisei.
That needs to be a podcast all of its own.
We are specifically doing the legendary era.
Yes.
And that starts with
Kong Skull Island. Technically, Godzilla 2014 came out first, but chronologically,
there you go.
Kong does come first.
Yes.
And there is no real need to watch Godzilla 2014 before Kong.
No.
So we're going to start off with Kong Skull Island, and that's where we will see us next week.
Yeah.
So until then, I am Logan Thomas.
I'm Caden Green.
And this has been the
Real Bros Podcast.
See you guys next week.
Adios.